Spoilers hint that Chase's loose lips may sink some ships. Now that Brooklyn knows that Nina saw Ned fall into the pool, will she spill all? Brooklyn, Amanda Seton, does love to stir up trouble. And this is her dad, so no one can claim it's none of her business. Will she go running through the streets broadcasting her news? Brooklyn isn't very good at focusing, 6% remind. She kind of hops from topic to topic. And she tends to forget things. As far as you're concerned, she's probably already moved on. She might have blabbed about Nina, Cynthia Watrous, when Chase, Josh Spickard, told her, but if we know our Brooklyn, something else has already grabbed her attention. Does it matter if Brooklyn reveals Chase's info? 19% of the audience sighs. Sure, some people might be upset for a hot second. Tracy, Jane Elliott, will yell. Olivia, Lisa Locicero, will shriek. Nina will look put upon. But then the moment will pass, everyone will forget, and no long-term drama will come of it. So is it even worth bringing up that detail if it's not going to mean anything in the long run? But a majority of you, 75%, expect Brooklyn to storm over to Nina's and demand to know why she didn't speak up about seeing Ned Wallykurth fall into the pool. Nina will make something up. Brooklyn won't believe it. Tracy won't believe it. Olivia won't believe it. They will all pile on Nina. Carly, Laura Wright, will be delighted. Tracy will be less delighted that Carly is delighted, but she will get over it. Brooklyn will demand that Chase press charges. Chase will explain that he's a cop, not the district attorney. Tracy will go to Robert, Tristan Rogers. Robert will explain that Nina didn't commit a crime. All will fume, and then nothing will happen. Liz arrives at Finn's door and he invites her in. He notes this is a surprise and asks what he can do for her. She says he invited her over, but Finn didn't. Violet runs out and says her aunt is right on time for her date. They realize quickly they've been set up. Violet brings out flowers, which she admits she ordered with her dad's phone. She realizes she forgot the candles and runs off to get them, and Liz guesses they're having a date. Liz and Finn sit down, and Violet plays the role of server. Finn knows it's been a minute since they've spent time together out of work. Liz says that was why she was excited to get his text. Violet interrupts and brings out some beverages, and there is a knock at the door. She says that would be dinner and dessert. Violet hopes they like pizza and cupcakes. After dinner, Finn asks Liz how she's liking her new role at work. Liz says she's adjusting, but sometimes doesn't know how Epiphany did it. Finn says they have different styles, but she has this and is remarkable. He also says she's a good sport for going along with Violet's setup. They look over and see Violet passed out on the couch and put her to bed. After they put Violet to bed, Finn promises Liz that he'll have a conversation with Violet about boundaries. She needs to know they can't be together just because she wants them to. Liz agrees and says there has to be more. They have to want it. Finn insists she takes the flowers home with her, and as she goes to take them, they touch hands. Austin pounds on Ava's front door and she swigs a martini. He yells they need to talk before she gets them killed. Ava invites him in, and he makes himself a drink. She doesn't recall offering him a cocktail. He thinks she owes him for finding a way to get the nanny out of the way, as Mason would just kill her if he knew she was the problem keeping them from getting what he wants. Ava can't believe what he's gotten her into, but he points out she's the one who killed Nicholas, and he's in this mess because of her. He doesn't want to go down as an accessory to murder for a killing he didn't commit. He says doing what they want is a far easier way out. Ava demands to know who they are, who is behind him and Mason. Austin says these people are not your run-of-the-mill mafia family, they don't have a code of honor, and they are ruthless. Ava can see Austin is actually afraid of them, even if everything else about him has been a lie. She runs down how he came to town as a long-lost Quartermain, but that didn't pan out. Then Maxie didn't pan out, so he latched onto her. She asks if she's ever been anything to him. He asks if he's ever been anything to her other than her patsy. Ava doesn't see why he doesn't just let Mason kill her if she's so much trouble. He explains he doesn't want her to die, prompting her to ask why. He pulls her into a kiss. At Carly's, she can't believe this is her and Drew's final night together for 3 years. Carly feels she should have done more, and she opens up about Michael's plan to flip on Sunny to save them both. Drew would never expect her to do that. Carly knows he's going to prison to protect her, and she doesn't think she can live with that. He says this isn't just about her, it's about the extended family they share, and this is the best choice. Carly says this is still her mess, so why should he pay? He tells her, because I love you. Drew tells Carly that they will still have their life together, it may just take a little more time to get there. Carly promises to wait however long it takes, and they still have tonight. They kiss, dance, and eventually make love. Afterward, Carly asks Drew to be careful, keep a low profile, stay out of trouble and come back to her. He promises to come home to her. Portia meets with Esme and Ace at the hospital. The doctor wants to discuss her and Spencer and how they plan to co-parent Ace. Esme reminds her that Spencer is Ace's brother, and she's the only legal parent with Nicholas out of the picture. Portia says Spencer is the main support she has in raising this baby without his father. Esme notes Spencer isn't always available given his personal life. Portia feels that's why she thinks she and Spencer need a parenting class. Portia tells Esme that GH has a class, and it helps get partners on the same track and teaches them basic skills in taking care of a baby. She thinks if Esme and Spencer plan to work together, learning these tactics would benefit them and Ace. Esme isn't sure Spencer would take the class with her. Portia suggests she tell him she's going to take the class and give him the option to come with her. Trina and Spencer head to the High Cider Bar to try and find some real evidence or a witness that Oz sold Esme the burner phone. Joss and Dex arrive, and they had the same idea Trina and Spencer did. Joss knows about the fake evidence, and Trina tells Spencer it kind of came out. Spencer says his uncle Victor was a pro at manufacturing evidence, and it's not framing someone if they committed the crime. Trina realizes Spencer still has the evidence. He admits he kept it as a plan B. While Esme is being marginally cooperative if she gets her memory back or tries to take Ace, then he has something to fall back on and take to the cops. Dex says it's more complicated than that. The cops would question this mystery evidence that just turned up, and he'd be arrested if even one piece doesn't hold up. Spencer asks what makes him such an expert, and if he knows so much, why work a job opening the door for his Uncle Sonny? Dex suggests to Joss they go. Spencer yells he doesn't want Dex's help and decks him. Dex says the first is free, but the second will cost him. Spencer throws another punch, misses, and Dex takes Spencer down. Dante and Sam drink at the bar thinking nobody will find them there when Sam spots the others and they witness the fight between Dex and Spencer. Dante intervenes and tells Dex he can press charges. Dex doesn't want trouble and says he and Joss will go. Dante suggests that's best given some of them aren't over 21. Joss and Dex split, and Dante helps Spencer, who is badly out of breath, up. Dante thinks he doesn't need this on his record as an ex-con. Spencer tells Trina that Dex has no right to butt into his life, and he knows nothing about Esme. Trina says he had no right to hit Dex and reminds him that she dropped the charges against Esme for him and his baby brother. She yells it's like nothing in Greenland ever happened. She hates when he turns into this self-entitled jerk, and she can't stand another meaningless apology. She storms out. At the bar, Sam says, "Poor Trina," while Dante says, "Poor Spencer." Sam wonders how he could feel for Spencer. He says there isn't anything worse than getting your ass fopped and then having the woman you love unable to defend you. Sam thinks from Trina's point of view, she was torn between yelling at her guy or the guy who hit her guy. They'd eventually decide to stop talking about a bar fight and dance. Joss and Dex return to his place, and Dex says he's sorry about tonight. Joss tells him not to be, and Spencer is a jerk and the only time he can land a punch on him is with a sucker punch. He laughs and says she's beautiful when she's angry. They'd eventually end up in bed making love. Spencer heads home and in his room takes off his shirt. He is in serious pain. Esme knocks on his door, opens it and asks, "What happened?" She seems speechless when she sees him sans shirt and says, "You." She asks if he fell, or if someone punched him. He asks if it matters. She says she was concerned about how he rushed in and up in a hurry. He says there is nothing to worry about, so she leaves. In the hall, Esme has wide eyes and lets out a deep exhale. Trina visits her mom at the hospital, and Portia calls it a lovely surprise. Trina wanted to see how she was doing with things. Portia explains she and Curtis are in limbo, but when it changes, she'll let her know. Trina knows what it feels like to have a strong connection with someone, but then question it because of their actions. In Pentonville, Cyrus reads his Bible in his cell. He later tells the guard a new prisoner starts tomorrow. He's a friend, and his name is Drew Kane.